Richard is full of action, violence, sex, lots of gore, everything that makes a really cool action film, basically. All the elements are there. Okay, characters. We got Liam. So he's the oldest of the three brothers, and he is more the paternal brother. Even though their father had been with them for a while, he died quite recently, and he was never really there for them. Liam feels a great deal of responsibility and guilt over the choices he made in life, and he wants to rectify that by taking his brothers to this cabin to try and rebuild anything that's been damaged through their lives. When things start to go wrong, this shows in a bigger way as Liam puts his own life on the line to protect and save his brothers. Liam's past is one of violence and mainly violence. He's a ex-SAS soldier, so he knows how to defend himself, he knows how to hunt. So he's the ideal person to find these hunters who are hunting him. He's the John McClane, as it were, of the woodland. Second character is Christopher, and he's the younger brother, and he's the one that Liam feels the most care for, as it were. Because Chris is quite young, he's still quite naive. Even though he knows what's going on, Liam sees that there's a future in Chris, and he wants to make sure that he's protected as much as possible. Now, unfortunately, Chris is the one who gets the most damage in the film, but he still has his element of positivity and humour, which you need in a film like this. You need to have a nice balance and to keep that antithesis between drama and comedy, as it were. Not to say he's a comic character, he just keeps it quite light and keeps realism there, because everyone has to have a laugh sometimes, even when they're being shot at with loads of arrows. The next character is Richard, and Richard is the middle brother of the three, and he's quite cheeky, he's quite streetwise, he knows what he wants, and he doesn't really care who he hurts. But at the same time, he knows what it means to be a brother, and he knows when things start turning for the worst, he tries his best to fight. He has got a bit of a mouth on him, and he knows how to talk the talk. But yeah, he's quite a nice dynamic with him and Chris. But yeah, I won't give too much about Richard. He's a good character though. He's good fun to write. Next we've got Samantha, and she is the girlfriend of Chris. She turns up in the cabin, unexpected. Well, expected for Chris because he invited her, but she turns up. Well, Liam and Richard didn't know she was going to be there, and Liam recognises her. He knows who she is, and we discover further down the line that she's been using both Liam and Chris to get what she wants, and what she wants is a bit of a mystery. They don't really know that until later on down the line. She's quite a mysterious character who uses her sexuality to advance herself to get what she wants from these three brothers, as it were. We've then got Donovan. Now, Donovan is the head of the organisation that Liam used to work for, and he is the head guy who organises this hunt for the three brothers. He doesn't like being crossed, and he doesn't like people leaving him as well. No one leaves Donovan's organisation, and when Liam does, it's going to come at a price. And no one especially rats on them, as it were. No one tells the police on their activities, and Donovan believes this is what has happened. That Liam, when he left, he informed on them. So there's a huge feeling of revenge that Donovan needs to expel on these brothers. He's lost a lot of money and he's lost a few guys, and he needs to get that back. And then we've got Kane, and Kane is Donovan's son, and he's a loose cannon. He is violent to the core, and he doesn't care who he hurts and who he kills to get what he wants. You'll see a lot of Kane's character developing throughout the film, and by the end he's quite a crazy guy. We've then got the hunters. Now, I've written 7 hunters in this film. I felt like a little homage there to Snow White. We've got 7 dwarfs, we've got 7 hunters. And each of these hunters has their own personality. I see them like bad guys in a video game, where you get to the end of a level and you've got the end of level boss. Each hunter is as deadly as the one before. So Liam has got quite a fight in his hands to get these people away and protect his family. And each of the hunters has their own identity. So we've got the typical tweed jacket wearing, has hunted lots before but never people. We've got your Deliverance style squeal piggy character who doesn't talk like that, but he's just as crazy. We've got a hunter who relies on technology a lot, so like night vision goggles. We've got one hunter who's a street runner. So there's each fight that happens that Liam has to face is harder and more dynamic than the last. So it becomes a massive struggle for Liam to keep up with the constant battle that he's facing, whilst he's hunting these hunters down as well. And then we've got a lot of armed men that Donovan has as a backup plan, as it were. If the hunters fail, if they get killed, he's still going to finish the job, and he'll send these guys out to do that for him. And so that's what these armed men are for. In my eyes, they're cannon fodder, and it's just good fun to see them get wiped out by Liam very quickly. Ratcatcher itself, for me, is about family, and it's about what would you do to protect your siblings when everything starts to go against you. It's also about revenge, retribution, manipulation. There's a lot of elements there. It's also about nature. I mean, it's in the woodlands, and Liam's character, as he's developing the way I'm creating him, you can sense that there's a lot of a loss of a connection with nature. I mean, these people are all from the big city, as it were, and they've come up to this place in the middle of nowhere with no phone signal, no traffic, no planes overhead. It's just quiet. And to bring this violence with them, as the film progresses, we see Liam, even though the violence is building, his inner calmness in a way is getting there until right near the end. I'm not giving anything away, but his connection with nature, as it kind of returns to him, I think it's quite a nice journey that he takes. So there's a lot of themes going on in this film, not just what you see with all the violence and the fighting. There's a lot happening with the characters as well. And as a writer, that's what I always do when I'm writing something. I want to make sure there's a connection with the characters and with the storyline. Because if you don't feel anything for them, then you're not going to care. And if you don't care, what's the point? So yeah, that's what with Ratcatcher, that's what I'm trying to focus on there as well. And everything else, once you've got the core elements of the characters and of the storyline, everything else kind of falls into place really nicely. I'm really passionate about Ratcatcher being made because there's not a lot of indie films out there that have as much action in and as much of a passion for film itself. Everyone at Light Films is massively passionate about making films, and it's great to be part of such a enthusiastic and positive team to create something like this with the budget that they're getting. It's very ambitious and it's very exciting as well.